Hey guys, it's Steeljan here. And now, boys and girls, it's time for another exciting episode of another tank mod. Now this one's a little different. The one that I'm making is a little different than the ones that I've seen so far, in that I wanted to make one that I could reuse the tank. So I could pull my cartomizer innards out to clean them, and when the cartomizer spent up, I could break apart a new cartomizer and put the innards in the tank. Yay! So that's what the goal of this one is. So this is the cartomizer before it's torn up. You need a Royal Smokers cartomizer. Yep. So you need one of those. And I've already torn mine up here, and I'm glad I did it off camera, because the way I do this is I have a battery connector that I've devoted just to this. This was all one piece. And the way I normally do them is I hold the battery connector with these vice grips, screw in the atomizer, the cartomizer, and in the vice grips I hold it and I wiggle it back and forth, and this comes off. Well, this one that I just took apart was mission impossible. I had to sit down and really work at it for about 15 minutes to get it to break apart. The battery connector I was using broke. I even heated it a little bit, so this was really on there not to come off. But there are lots of good videos on how to dismantle one of these carts. Shannon Burkholder has a great one over on her YouTube channel, and she also has a great video on identifying all the different ones of these carts. And I wanted my tubing to be shiny, so I peeled off the black paper, and then I used Goof Off to get off the glue, and then I scrubbed it in the sink. And one thing you can see in this one, it is perfectly clear except for that water droplet. I think that's water over there. I did run a paper towel through it. Looks like I got a little water left in it. Let me wipe that out while we're standing here. I can reach my tissues from here, because I wanted to show you there has been issues with cartomizers having rust or goop down in the inside of them. So I wanted to make sure that the one I use for this tank mod to show you on this video is going to be perfectly clear. So let's run that around there. Okay, the tissue is perfectly clean, and yes, we have nothing in the tube. Perfectly clean. So there we go. So the pieces of the cartomizer, you have the pieces of the cartomizer, right? And I'm not using this particular one in my mod. Then I'm using a 10 milliliter syringe just because that's what I've got. I ordered a bunch of syringes and they just haven't gotten here yet. And I'm going to use 2 of these little bottles that I believe are 12 milliliter, and they came with juice in them from DFW Vapor. I bought the juice from DFW Vapor, used up the juice, and now I am left with the little bottles. So here's the first thing to do. Set aside your junk, take the bottle. Now my method is going to seat the atomizer guts in here, but this is going to seal up in here. So just bear with me and I'll just go through it. See how that's going to seat? It's very tight. So I'm going to take my knife and I'm going to whack this off just above that lip. Okay. This is going to be the thing that goes in here that holds my atomizer, my cartomizer. I'll push this in here. See, like I said, the beauty of my mod is that this is reusable, and I can take the cartomizer back out, the cartomizer innards back out. So if I could take this out and wash these threads off if I want to, but for right now I'm not going to, and you can fuss at me if you want. Okay, then I'm going to push it in there using this vice grips as a little platform, not to hold it, just to give me some space to work. There. So now this is set on that. And it's very tight, it's not going to leak. And this is going to go up into here. Get in there. Like so. Now, I can run a bead of silicone around here. Silicone's really easy to get it loose and pull it back out if I want to, but it would make it a little more stable. But it's in there good and tight. Right now it's not going anywhere. Now I want to figure out where I want the top. My tube's going to go down over the top of that little, of the little ceramic cap. So I think I want it to be, if I was smart, I could make this for an XL and a regular. And then I wouldn't have to make two of them. I could use the same one for XL and regular. So I think I'm going to cut this off at the 7. Okay, so that looks pretty good, I think. Good enough for now. Sits kind of straight. I was going to come back on the camera with my fingers, one of my fingers all bandaged up, and then go, just kidding, but then I decided against that. Yeah, we're trying to be professional here, yeah, aren't we? You getting this leg on my ears? Now for this end, I'm going to take it and I'm going to cut the bottle off above the neck here, because I want it to sit down in against with this, because oh, it's going to go in this end. Sorry, this one's going to go in this end because I like for it to have a little thingy on it. You know, thingy. That's a professional word. And if I change my mind, then it doesn't have to. So I'm going to leave the shoulder. Oops, let's see where I got you on the camera. See, I've got all, I'm so very professional at this, doing things on camera, right? This is probably more than I want. Okay, so I take the tube, and I want it to go down here. But of course, it's going to take some effort because this is not big enough for that. So I'm going to have to use some persuasion. And I think last time I did this, I went and heated it a little on the stove, and just then I was able to push it through. But let's see if I can do this by tapping it. I haven't actually tried that yet, so you never know, that may work. It is so exponentially more difficult to do something and film it at the same time. But you know, I'm doing this exactly the same way as if I weren't doing it on the camera, although I'd probably fiddle with everything a little bit more. Okay, there we go. So now this is going to sit on this, just like in Shan's mod and the other tank mods. I want this to sit on that, right? So we're going to put this guy in here. I wonder which way I want this to go. I think I want this to go this way. And that will be nice and leak-proof. And I want to poke the little threads down with my poker down in there through thingy. My little wick. And yes, I know I should wash the wick and I should do things to it and burn the antibacterial stuff off of it, is what everybody tells me. But I'm a rebel. I'm a rebel, she said. Now, as for filling this, it's really just, first I want to take the rubber caplet that has the needle holes, and I'm putting it down on the top of this. Now I am reshooting this portion. Oops, I dropped that. I'm reshooting this portion because I wasn't happy with the way the video turned out. So this is actually, I'm actually filming this the next day. So this one actually still has some liquid in it because I was vaping it last night while I was watching Vape TV. I was enjoying some time with friends at Vape TV. So I line up the, on this I line up the nubbins that's going to go over the threads, and I put it over the top and push it down with a straw. Well, actually it's a little PVC tube so that it's seated nicely on there, on the ceramic cup. To fill it, you just stick your little juice in it until it's full, and like that. Now this one doesn't hold much, but I will be getting my bigger syringes in. Then to put the cap on, you just put the cap in. See the threads and all. You just stick this in here. And then watching through the side, you line the tube up over the rubber top that you just put on, and slide that puppy right down on top of it. You can see right through the syringe to get the tube on the top, not wanting to pinch the threads there because you want it to feed. And there you have it. I want to show you another thing. So let's put this on my Shan Burkholder Energizer mod. And we'll see how she vapes. I want to show you something else while I have the I have this out here. I'm unveiling something new and different that I've been testing for a few days now. But there's my steeljan reusable tank mod. You can swap the cartomizers out. Nothing's glued in. This, don't laugh, this is a piece of medical tubing that I have made into a circle, and I cut a rubber stopper for it out of one of the, where is one I can show you, you know what I mean, out of one of these rubber tops from the Carto. I cut it with a little circular thing that I found, a little piece of aluminum that's the same size as this tubing. This is just plain 1/4 inch medical grade tubing, like what it goes on an oxygen tank, you know, oxygen mask. It's really cheap, and it's medical grade PVC. The reason for it is because I was realizing that when you vape, there's a lot of water droplets in the vapor. I mean, not physical water droplets that you can feel them, but there is droplets, and I was thinking about, are those water droplets going back down on the atomizer and helping to mess it up? The second thing is that every now and then we all know that something bad happens and you get some juice in your mouth, and I hate that. It can actually burn my lips. So I thought, okay, if I make a tubing, which this isn't all that long, into a mouthpiece, it would keep any e-juice away from me. The water droplets could form down here if you are an electrician, or you know one, or whatever. You know how when you're wiring something outside in the rain, outside to keep the rain from going to the wiring in the house, you make a drip circle so that the rain would come down and drip off the wire. Well, this is the opposite, because now we're talking about the inside. I want the condensation or any extra e-liquid to catch in this circle, and it does. So it never gets up into my mouth, and no condensate goes back down into the atomizer or on the coil. So I haven't perfected this yet, but I wanted to show it to you and get some great minds thinking on it. If y'all wanted to try this, somebody else will come up with a much better idea than what I have, I'm sure. But I've been using this now for a couple of days, and it's working like a champ. So anyway, we stick the little stopper into the end, and I can spin it around here. And now let's see how the steeljan drip circle and the reusable tank mod works. Ta-da! With the condensate tubing. Let me show you. I have the condensate tubing because I've just taken just a few puffs off that now, see? And if I can get it to focus. Can you see the condensate? That is what it has already collected that does not ever get in my mouth. Yep. Okay, guys. Dirty mirror and all, this is steeljan out. Steeljan.